Welcome to the Sharing English podcast. I'm your host, Freya, and this is the very first episode of our special mini-series, U.S. Government Explained. In this series, I'll break down how the American political system works, piece by piece, in clear, simple English. Whether you're new to U.S. politics or just want to understand it better, this is for you. And before we dive in, I should say, I have 2 degrees in politics, a bachelor's in political science and international studies, and a master's in international affairs. So this is not just a hobby. I've spent years studying and teaching these topics, and I'm excited to share them with you. Today's question is simple but important. What type of government does the United States actually have? If you read online or listen to political debates, you'll often hear 2 statements. 1, America is a democracy. Or, America is not a democracy, it's a republic. So which is it? The answer is both. At its core, democracy means rule by the people. In contrast to monarchy, where power is inherited, or dictatorship, where power is seized and held by one person, democracy is built on the idea that the people themselves should have a voice in how they are governed. There are different types of democracy. In a direct democracy, citizens vote directly on laws and policies themselves. Ancient Athens is the classic example here. And this can still be seen today in smaller communities or through ballot initiatives in some U.S. states. On the other hand, in a representative democracy, citizens elect leaders to make decisions and pass laws on their behalf. This is the system used in the United States. This principle is often summed up in Abraham Lincoln's famous words from his Gettysburg Address describing the United States government as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, the term republic comes from ancient Rome and means the public thing or public matter. In a republic, leaders are chosen by citizens, and there is no king or queen. With that being said, the United States is a republic. When the Constitution was written, the framers deliberately called the new system of government a republic. That's because in a republic, the people elect representatives, but there is also a strong emphasis on the rule of law and limits on government power through a written constitution. This is what makes a republic different from other forms of democracy. For example, in some parliamentary democracies, the legislature can, in theory, pass almost any law with majority support. But in a republic like the United States, even elected leaders cannot overstep the Constitution. Individual rights and freedoms are protected from majority rule by law and by the courts. So, when people say the U.S. is a republic, not a democracy, they're partly right, but it's more accurate to say the U.S. is a constitutional republic, which is a unique form of representative democracy. So why do people even say the US isn't a democracy? Sometimes it's a matter of historical pride. The Constitution uses the word republic, but not democracy, so people point to that. Other times, it's political rhetoric, using republic to emphasize tradition or structure. And sometimes it's misunderstanding. People think democracy means direct democracy, where citizens vote directly on everything. That's not the US system, but it doesn't mean the US isn't a democracy at all. It's important to remember that the two terms, republic and democracy, don't cancel each other out, they overlap. Now let's talk about what makes the US government unique. There are three big things. 1, it's a constitutional republic. The Constitution is the highest law. Everyone, including leaders, must follow it, in theory. In practice, this is being challenged almost every day in our current timeline. The second unique thing is that the government is a federal system. Power is divided between the national government in Washington, D.C., and each of the 50 states. We'll talk more about this in a later episode. And finally, it's representative. Citizens don't usually vote on every law directly, though there are some instances where this happens. Instead, citizens elect leaders to make those decisions for them. Now, why does this matter? Words shape how we think. If someone says the US is not a democracy, it can sound like ordinary people don't have power. If someone says it's a republic, it emphasizes structure and law. The truth is, the US is both. It's a republic within the larger family of democracies. Understanding that helps us avoid confusion and helps us see how the system works compared to other countries. So one last time, what type of government is the United States? It's a constitutional federal republic and a representative democracy. And as we go through this mini-series, you'll see how each piece, the Constitution, the branches of government, the states, the political parties, all fit together into this unique system. Now I'm curious, what about your country? How would you describe its government system? Do people ever argue about the words used to describe it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for listening to the Sharing English podcast. New episodes of the U.S. Government Explained mini-series are released every Tuesday. Be sure to tune in to our regular culture-focused episodes each Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you enjoyed this, follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend who's learning English.